The first dilemma is from Jason. Hey Jordan, I have a YouTube channel. I'm doing funny gaming skits combined with serious personal videos like you do. My problem is I'm afraid those personal videos won't be watched because it's so irrelevant compared to my funny skits, and I'm afraid I'm losing subs because of it. I'd love it if you could observe my channel and give your honest opinion / perspective so that I have more insight and direction. Thank you. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is your channel right here. So you have 1.7k subs. You're doing pretty well. You're doing very, very well actually, but you haven't posted in a month. Okay, you haven't posted in a month, and if you want to be successful on YouTube, you got to fix that. Okay, and that goes for everybody out here who wants to be a highly successful YouTuber. You can't let more than a month go by and you're not posting a video. Okay, you simply cannot let that happen. Now, with that being said, I can tell, without even watching your content, I can tell that you probably put a lot of effort into your content. You put a lot of thought into your content just based on the thumbnails. Okay, your thumbnails are very, very good. They're very good. They're not too much to take in, but they're very aesthetically pleasing. They're clean. Very, very good thumbnails, which obviously that's a big part of your branding. The titles, they're pretty specific, okay? But when it comes to skits, that's not really something that you would search for. You wouldn't search for these types of videos anyway. So your thumbnails are going to be the primary motivating factor for people to click on your videos, and you're doing that very, very well. Like I said, you already have 1.7k subscribers, so you are doing absolutely exceptional. Now, with that being said, Jason, you do not have to limit yourself. Okay, I didn't see any personal videos there. Obviously, you asked this question back in January, so maybe you've resolved this issue on your own. But for anybody out there who's going through that dilemma where you don't know what type of content you want to post, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself. Okay, and I think that that's one of the biggest misconceptions about being a YouTuber is that you have to find a niche. You have to find a niche in order to be successful. And while that might help you in the short term, a lot of times people end up burning out and falling off because of it, because they confine themselves to that niche. So when that niche is no longer as relevant, they're no longer as relevant. Okay, so understand that the lack of direction or the lack of specificity of your niche is actually a blessing in disguise. That's something that it took me a very long time to realize, is that the more broad your channel is, the more topics that you cover, the more flexibility that you have, the more freedom that you have, and the more fun YouTube actually is. Now for you, I feel like when you have something that's so different, okay, in terms of the skits, and then you have the personal videos like mine, obviously it will be a little more difficult to integrate those into one another, but the key is your brand. Okay, how do you brand your channel? If you brand your channel as a skits channel or a gaming channel, then of course people are going to be put off when they see you post personal videos, especially if you do so on a regular basis. But if you just make your channel about you and your interests, then you'll basically have the freedom to post whatever you want. And there's a reason why with my channel, for example, my channel is Jordan Green. That is the name that I chose, is because my channel is a reflection of me and every facet of my life. Now, I might not necessarily make videos on everything that I'm passionate about. I haven't made any videos about cars or basketball. Actually, yes, I have. That's a lie. I have made videos on cars and basketball, but I haven't made a lot of videos on that. The point is that I can make videos about whatever I want to make videos about. Now, with that being said, I do feel like you have to find ways to integrate them into your brand, right? So you expand your brand, but then you integrate them all into your brand. Now, how do you do that? You do that by figuring out the common thread between all of your content. So for example, when I made videos about my new apartment or my new car or things like that, fashion, for example, fashion and spirituality seemingly don't have anything in common, but the common thread between all of these things is inspiration. Okay, all of my videos are curated to help make people's lives better by inspiring them to be better. And in doing so, as long as I'm following that common thread, I can post whatever video I want. Okay, so bearing that in mind, for you, it might be something different. Maybe you don't necessarily want to inspire people. Maybe you just want to make people feel better in general. Okay, so you have skits that can make them laugh, but then you have uplifting videos that make them feel better when they're going through difficult times. And the combination of the two can really help you elevate yourself and your brand, as well as the people who follow you. Okay, because you're expressing more of yourself, and thus YouTube is more fun for you. You put more conviction, more passion and energy into your videos, which, like I said, it seems like you're already doing that, but you can always put in more, and your audience will be able to pick up on that, and they can't deny the fact that your videos make them feel better. And so they'll be willing to watch pretty much anything that you post. And for the people who don't want to watch the personal videos, they don't have to. They don't have to watch the personal videos. They can just choose to watch the skits. But as long as you don't brand your channel in a way that pigeonholes you into being an entertainment channel, you can post whatever you want. That is the beauty of YouTube. The next dilemma is from Dave. Let's just get to the chase. I'm 18 and I don't look forward to life. All there is in my future is either working some shitty job I hate or being in university. People say I should have a career to contribute to society. The thing is, I do not want to be a part of society at all. I have to move out soon, so I'll unfortunately need a job in this evil society. So I have 3 questions. How can I find a job that does not waste my time? How can I have a more exciting life? And once I get that money, how can I escape being part of society and go off the grid? Okay, so Dave, here's the thing, man. And I want you to know that I'm coming from a place of compassion. I understand how you feel. I understand the level of resentment that you may be harboring within you, because at your age, I had a lot of that same resentment in me as well. Okay, feeling like you were confined to what society wants for you as opposed to what you want for yourself. And in some ways, I feel like having that societal pressure can influence you to actually take extreme, drastic action in the opposite direction, which can be good, don't get me wrong. I mean, look at what I'm doing for a living. But at the same time, you have to take some time to assess your desires. Okay, do not move from a place of resentment. You use a lot of emotionally charged words like this evil society and hate and things like that, and understand that when you're acting in the direction of that, when you're focusing on the negative aspects of society, you're only going to bring those closer to you. You can't escape your own mind. You can't escape a negative, pessimistic mindset. No matter what you do, you can go off the grid if you want, but you'll be disappointed to find that the mentality will still be with you and you can't escape from it. The only way to escape from it is to let go of the resentment. Stop seeing yourself as a victim of society. You are not a victim of society. You control your own fate. You control your own destiny. Now, is there a mass agenda for people to conform? Yes, there is. Because people do not like to see nonconformists because it reminds them of their unfulfilled potential. But at the same time, when you move from that place of compassion and knowing that people are only acting because of their own insecurities, that frees you of the resentment. And that enables you to make cognizant discernments between the things that you genuinely love to do and the things that you're doing out of spite for society. Now, to answer your specific questions, how can I find a job that does not waste my time? If the job that you're working is helping you get closer to the thing that you actually want to do, the life that you actually want to live, you're not wasting your time. For example, I worked at H&M from July 2019 through March 2020. And up until probably late January, early February 2020, about a month and a half before I quit my job, that job was very, very useful for me. I wasn't wasting my time at all. Even though I didn't necessarily like working there, I was using that money to invest into my YouTube channel because YouTube wasn't making me any money. So I used the money that I made from that job to invest in more equipment to elevate my content. And so in that way, I didn't waste any time at all. There was no shift that I worked where I felt like I wasted my time because I knew that I was working towards something. Now, once I had all of the equipment that I wanted, that's when it became a waste of time for me. And that's where I quickly made the decision to let go of it so that I could focus on my true passion. Okay, so understand that once you develop a sense of clarity and a sense of vision for yourself, that is when you can truly move toward your goals and align every action that you take with your desired outcome. Okay, and in doing that, you're not wasting your time. In meeting new people, you're not wasting your time. In going out, you're not wasting your time because everything has that underlying intention behind it, and that will subconsciously influence you to do certain things at certain times. And that's what's known as synchronicity. And you'll learn more about that as you actually put this advice into application. Now, as for the second question, how can I have a more exciting life? Once again, it really comes down to perspective. Okay, it's all about perspective. Life is a matter of your specific perspective on the life that you're living right now. Okay, so the easiest way to live a more exciting life is to be grateful. Practice conscious gratitude. Okay, be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for who you are. Be grateful that you have the ability to see beyond societal standards and to know that there's something better out there for you. And be grateful for your youth and the fact that you have the time to start working towards that goal. Okay, so don't put any extra pressure on yourself than you absolutely have to. Of course, it's good to have some pressure on yourself so that you can stay motivated and disciplined in the pursuit of your desired outcome, your desired reality, but be grateful for the journey, because that's all life truly is. You think that once you're free from societal standards that you'll be happy and liberated and excited, but true liberation occurs at the mental level and the spiritual level, not at the level of your circumstances. Now, as for the third question, once I get that money, how can I escape being part of society and go off the grid? So as far as going off the grid, I myself am still on the grid. I still live within somewhat of a regular city. Okay, I don't live off the grid like that, but I'm gonna give you some homework, okay? Go and watch this YouTuber called Frugal Travel Guru. I'm not sure if that's still his name. He's a YouTuber that I used to watch, and I've been seeing him a lot of my recommended lately, but his videos are pretty much curated for people like you, okay, who want to live a life that doesn't necessarily conform to societal standards, a life of freedom.